all time.
Jumping into one, bro.
Hey, what's going on, Who Dat Nation? It is yours truly, TJ Jones, the host of the State of the Saints podcast. And thank you for checking out the State of the Saints podcast. Really do appreciate it. On this edition, we're going to be talking about backup quarterback Jameis Winston. And should the Saints have a package for Jameis Winston in this offense in a 2020 season? And we're also going to be talking about the NFC South, man. We got to talk about the NFC South. The Saints were on a bye week, and I want to say thank you to everybody that checked out the State of the Saints podcast, the last video that I put up. But we're going to be talking a little bit more about the NFC South because I have to say some of these teams, some of these fans, I should say, of these teams have lost their damn mind. But we're going to talk about that in a minute. But thank you very much for checking out the State of the Saints podcast, making the State of the Saints podcast a part of your Monday morning. I guess you can call this the Monday morning quarterback edition. Usually on Mondays, I do the final thoughts on the Saints games, or if they play on Monday night, then, getting ready for a pregame show. But nevertheless, I guess you can just call this the Monday morning quarterback, okay? But I want to give a special shout out to everybody that's filing into the chat. I don't expect, too many people to be a part of the show. I know people are getting ready for work, are probably already at work. But a special shout out to Edward, Buck Skull Game, Fresh UK, and Jerry. Thank y'all very much for being a part of the State of the Saints podcast on this beautiful Monday morning. Hope y'all having a good morning so far. But let's go ahead and talk about Jameis Winston, man. Jameis Winston. This is a topic that often comes up, and it's not a game that goes by that the Saints play that Jameis Winston's name doesn't come up. I mean, from the first game against Tampa to the game the Saints last played, the Chargers, Jameis Winston's name seems to come up. And his name comes up usually when fans aren't satisfied with the play of Drew Brees, all right? So I think this is a question that needs to be answered, okay, or needs to be discussed, I should say. I think that we should talk about Jameis Winston, and should the Saints have some type of offensive package for him? Should they allow him to come into the game? Now, I am going to say this, right? And I'm probably going to get a lot of backlash for this, but y'all know I don't really care about that. I was thinking about this before I did this show. If the Saints had Jameis Winston as their quarterback, the Saints would be more explosive. Drew Brees makes the Saints more efficient. I'm going to say that again. Jameis Winston will make the Saints more explosive. Drew Brees makes the team more efficient. Now, the way I look at this, I look at Drew Brees. Drew Brees is one hell of a quarterback. He's an elite quarterback. He's a quarterback that is going to the Hall of Fame. I mean, after 5 years, after he retire, boom, he's in there, man. You might well just go ahead and get his measurements right now. He's going into the Hall of Fame. Drew Brees is an efficient quarterback. He's about timing. He's about guys running into their routes. Let's just say they're running a 10 and in, or, an out route. And, after 10 yards, they make that out. Drew Brees throwing the ball as soon as they make that cut. As soon as the receiver turn around, the ball is in his hands. Efficient, all right? Drew Brees is not going to go out there and play park ball. And by park ball, I mean he's not going to break off and run. He's not going to roll out. He's not looking for wide receivers to break off their route or anything like that. He's about timing. He's about efficiency. And because of that, sometimes some of the routes that the players may run, they might run a route and the safety might be right there. Drew Brees not going to throw the ball. He's going to check the ball down. And it's going to make the Saints offense very, very, what's the word I'm looking for? Predictable. All right. It's going to make them very predictable. It's going to take a very long time in order for them to get down the field. It's going to be a lot of dinking and dunking. right? But at the same time, the Saints are going to get where they need to be. It's almost like comparing Jameis Winston to Drew Brees is almost like comparing a Prius to a Ferrari, right? I mean, and let's just say the Prius is going to Atlanta, the Ferrari is going to Atlanta, right? The Ferrari is going to get there faster than the Prius, but the Prius is still going to get there regardless. You know what I'm saying? It's going to take longer for the Prius to reach Atlanta, but it's still going to get there. I look at Jameis Winston as a guy that is going to go out there. He's going to be a risk taker. He's going to trust guys to make plays. If he throws the ball down the field to Deontay Harris, he's gonna throw that ball, giving Deontay Harris a chance to be a star, to be a player, to go out there and win that 50-50 ball. He is going to take risks. Drew Brees does not take a lot of risk at all. The only time you really see Drew Brees take a risk, I'm gonna be honest, the only time you really see Drew Brees really truly take a risk and throwing a ball into harm's way, probably in the playoffs. Like, that's when I see Drew Brees playing as reckless as I ever going to see him. But Jameis Winston is a guy who I look at like Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott is going to throw the ball up to Michael Gallup. Michael Gallup is going to come down with that football, or it's going to be incomplete or something. But he gives those guys opportunity to make plays. Dak breaks off. Dak runs out of the pocket. He extends plays. He throws the ball down the field, and he connects with his receivers. That's what you'll probably see more with Jameis Winston. And not to mention Jameis Winston, he's not the fastest guy in the world, but he will scramble if he has to. So I do feel like the Saints offense would be more explosive if Jameis Winston was the quarterback. They're more efficient with Drew Brees. Drew Brees is going to get them where they need to be. It just won't be as sexy as it would be if Jameis Winston was the quarterback. But should Jameis Winston have an offensive package? I say, why the hell not? I said, why the hell not? Because, I mean, you're already using Taysom Hill all over the place. And honestly, those plays haven't been working. And you use Drew Brees, you know what I'm saying, for you know what I'm saying, time and task and all that kind of stuff, you know, you're using him. So why not use Jameis Winston in some capacity? I'm very shocked that Sean Payton hasn't used Jameis in some way, shape, or form this season, especially in a game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I thought for sure that he would use Jameis Winston in that game. And it would not surprise me on Sunday night, the Saints playing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, that Sean Payton roll out Jameis Winston to have a petty party. You know what I'm saying? Have Jameis go out there, throw a pass deep just to stick it into the fans out there in Tampa. I would not put it past Sean Payton. But I do feel like Jameis Winston would bring something different to the Saints. I think the Saints would be a little bit more explosive with Jameis Winston being the quarterback of the New Orleans Saints. I really do feel that way. I'm not saying nothing wrong with Drew Brees. What I'm saying is Drew Brees is not a risk taker like Jameis Winston is, and Jameis Winston is going to take some of those chances, and you're really going to see. Like, honestly, I feel like you really will see the skill set some of these receivers have if Jameis Winston was a quarterback, because Jameis is going to put the ball out there for those guys to go out there and try to get that football. Drew is not going to do that. If a guy runs his route, and I don't know if Drew sees a safety or a linebacker kind of, you know what I'm saying, trying to cheat the play or whatever like that, trying to possibly, step in and try to catch an interception or deflect the pass, he's not going to throw the ball. He's going to check it down. So I think when you're looking at these two guys, once again, I compare a Prius to a Ferrari going to Atlanta. They both are going to get to Atlanta. One car is just going to get there faster than the other. So what do you all think about that? What do y'all think about Jameis Winston? Ren says the Saints need at least a package for or two for Jameis. Just Sean Payton like to grandstand. He doesn't use new players at all. I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. What if Sean was saving Jameis for the postseason? That's an interesting point. You know, also, Mike, I'm hearing a lot of people talking about load managing Drew. You know, I want to know what y'all think about that, man. I mean, on Get Up, on ESPN's Get Up with Mike Greenberg, they were talking about that last week. And they were talking about maybe Jameis taking over a couple games and allowing Drew to rest his arm for, the middle of the season or towards the latter part of the season. You know, people aren't paying that much attention, but, when Drew went out for those 5 weeks, he came back like a house on fire, man. And I think those 5 weeks actually helped him out a lot. You know what I'm saying? It preserved his body, because you have to keep in mind, man, nothing was wrong with any of his lower extremities or anything like that. It was his thumb. So he was able to rest his legs, rest his arm, you know what I'm saying, and all other parts of his body for 5 weeks, you know what I'm saying, while his thumb was healing up. So I think that, you know, that's something that the Saints can look into, possibly load managing Drew. You know, if you want Drew to be ready for the playoffs in the postseason, you got a guy like Jameis Winston that can, you know what I'm saying, that can steer the ship. You know, why not? You know, why not try to go out there and try to get some games with Jameis and try to win some? I mean, we have to understand this. I mean, we bring up Peyton Manning quite a bit on this show. We talk about his last year with the Denver Broncos. But what we don't really talk about is Peyton Manning missed about 4 or 5 games, and Brock Osweiler was the backup quarterback. And that's one of the reasons why Brock, just like Teddy Bridgewater, was able to go out and get a big-time contract. He was able to get paid by the Houston Texans. So why not? Why not use Jameis like that? You know, why not have load management? I know that's not the most popular thing, and we know that Drew is a competitor. I don't see that happening, but man, why not consider that? It's not like Jameis is chopped liver. I think Jameis made a lot of mistakes in Tampa because they really didn't have any complimentary football going in Tampa. It was Jameis or bust. It was Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. They had no running game whatsoever. They didn't try to run the football. So, I mean, I don't know, man. This would be one of the first times in Jameis's career where he actually has guys that can support him. He has a running game that can support him, and he don't have to go out there and do it on his own. And not to mention, he doesn't have the pressure of trying to be the franchise quarterback. When you're the first pick overall and you go to a franchise, the fan base are counting on you to deliver them a championship or give them respectability, you know what I'm saying, credibility around the National Football League. That's what they want you to do. He doesn't have that anymore because nobody looking at Jameis as being a franchise quarterback of the Saints. I mean, some people might be like, man, this guy's the future, but I mean, it's not like he's the undisputed future like he once was in Tampa. It was unanimous. People thought that this guy was going to deliver them championships and give them credibility and give them playoff berths, something they haven't had in over a decade. So he doesn't have that coming to New Orleans. So that's pressure off of him. All he has to do is just go out there and play football, limit the mistakes, and just play his game. He doesn't have the pressure of trying to be the hero or being a franchise. He don't have that. So why not? James says the Ferrari going to get the cops' attention, though. Yeah, the Ferrari may get the cops' attention, you know, but I mean, at the same time, I mean, it's still going to Atlanta. It might get a ticket, but it's still going to Atlanta, nevertheless. Move Hill to running back and receiver, Dwayne Washington to fullback, cut Burton, move Jameis up to second quarterback. Teams will fear the pass and run with Jameis, and defenses know Hill is going to run. They stack the box daring. I don't too much I don't too much agree, I should say, with the moving Hill to the running back position. I really don't, man. Look, Taysom Hill is a quarterback. We just gonna have to deal with that, folks. You know, regardless of how we look at him, how he's portrayed, whatever you want to say, however you want to slice it, cut it, I get it. But he's a quarterback, man. Let's stop trying to make this guy something that he is not. You know what I'm saying? Like, the guy wants to play quarterback. Sean believes that he is a future quarterback. I ain't saying a future quarterback of the franchise. He's saying he's a future quarterback. I mean, that's what he is, man. The way that they use him is because he can do a whole bunch of things, right? But at the end of the day, the guy wants to be a quarterback. The Saints believe they have a quarterback in Taysom. So I think we just need to leave that alone. Jameis, he is the backup quarterback. I feel like he's already the backup quarterback. There's not a doubt in my mind. Like, I'm serious, folks. If Drew Brees was to go down, Jameis coming into the game. I don't care what anybody say. It can be on the depth chart all they want to. Taysom Hill. The only reason why Taysom Hill is the number 2 quarterback of the New Orleans Saints is because there were no OTAs, no minicamp, and Jameis didn't have an opportunity to go out here and cram and look at the playbook and run the offense. But trust and believe, okay? Jameis has been a New Orleans Saint for a good little minute now, and at least 6 weeks of football, okay? So if we're talking about talent and knowledge of the playbook and understanding, trust, after 6 weeks, Jameis knows enough of the playbook to go out there and do a formidable job and play better than Taysom. I don't care what anybody says. Like, you can be the biggest Taysom Hill fan in the world, but Taysom is not better than Jameis Winston. He is not. He is not better than Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston has better arm talent than him. Jameis Winston can do better, more things than him at the quarterback position. It's just facts, folks. It's just facts. The only thing that Taysom has over Jameis is probably the knowledge of the playbook because he's been in the offense longer. That's the only reason why Taysom is the number 2 quarterback on the depth chart. Has absolutely nothing to do with skills at all, because Jameis' skills blows Taysom out the water, straight up. I think opposing teams know if Jameis is in the game, it's for a deep ball. Well, it depends on how you put him out there. You know, if you put him out there just strictly for the deep ball, then they're going to know that. But if you have packages for him where it's short game, long game, running the football, then they won't know how to approach it. It's plain and simple. Jameis' arm is strong. Being precisely is the key. Jameis can do it. Yeah, Jameis has skills, man. I just think those whole 30 interceptions kind of throw people off, and all of a sudden everybody just talking about this man stink. Look, man, everybody in a Bruce Arians offense, if you're a quarterback, has a high number of interceptions. I mean, look at Tom Brady. Like, Tom Brady ain't out there just setting the world on fire. I mean, he throwing interceptions too. That's just the way Bruce Arians run. 5 to 7 step drops. Come on, man. He wants to push the ball down the field. And a lot of those plays call for down the field plays. And you know, in the process, you know, cornerbacks and safeties, they getting paid to catch interceptions out there or stop the receiver from getting the ball. So I think a lot of people just look at Jameis and they're like, oh, man, you know what I'm saying? He turned the ball over. Like, but look at the offense that they run. I really feel like Sean will settle Jameis down, look at some of the things that Jameis does well, and try to utilize his strengths, and then try to work on some things that can make him a better quarterback. He did the same thing with Teddy Bridgewater. Teddy Bridgewater, for the first couple weeks, I say about a week, he ran like a Drew Brees type offense. And then him and Sean got together, and Sean was like, well, what plays do you like? And, you know, Teddy would tell Sean what the plays he liked. They would work on them. He would implement it. And as you can see, Teddy got better from week to week. So I think it would be the same thing with Jameis. And once again, I really feel like he does not have that pressure of trying to be the guy. Like, I feel like he was pushing the ball. He was doing way too much because he had the weight of a franchise on his shoulders, and he didn't want to disappoint. Right now, man, I mean, the Saints didn't draft Jameis. I mean, they got him for a 1-year deal, but the Saints aren't asking him to go out here and move heaven and earth like Tampa did. All he would have to do is just go out there and play his game. I mean, you have running backs like Latavius Murray and Alvin Kamara to support you. And you also have some receivers like Emmanuel Sanders, Traquan Smith, and Michael Thomas, you know what I'm saying, to back you up as well. So I don't think it would be the same Jameis that people had seen out there in Tampa, because I don't think the Saints would use him the way that Tampa were trying to use him. How many of the offenses, in your opinion, do you think Jameis knows? And do you think Hill has the offense down pat pass-wise? I don't know if he has it down pat. I'm talking Taysom. Do you really have it down pat? You know what I'm saying? Like, really? Like, you have to be in this offense for years. Now, I do think they have an understanding of what the offense actually is. And I do feel like after 6 weeks, he's probably more advanced than he was when he first started. And I do feel like he knows enough about this offense. If he was to come into the game, he'll be able to run it, at a moderate pace. Okay. I mean, there's a lot of audibles and switches and personnel changes for the New Orleans Saints. I think Emmanuel Sanders said, man, he used to see maybe 6 or 7 personnel changes throughout the offense. He said the Saints had about 14 or 15 personnel changes. So there's a lot of personnel changes. And with those personnel changes comes a very, very complicated offensive playbook. So you really have to be ingrained and embedded into this offense in order for you to fully understand what the hell is going on. So, but do I think he knows enough? Yes. Do I feel like he can do enough to have a game plan? If something was to happen to Drew, knock on wood, but if something was to happen to Drew, could he come in and step in and do a formidable job? Absolutely. But I mean, I guess, but unless you Drew Brees and been in the system for about 15 years, I mean, do you really know everything? I mean, I don't even know if Drew knows everything. I'm pretty sure he do, though. He'll have the Who Dat Nation all over his back as soon as one mistake happens. Well, that's the Who Dat Nation in general. I mean, that's rather Drew Brees, Alvin Kamara, Michael Thomas, Marshawn Lattimore. It don't matter, man. Like, some of the Saints fans just love the players from play to play. Okay, I mean, they want to talk about the players if something bad happens, but if a player do something good and the Saints win, they don't want you to say nothing about it. So a lot of fans love these love these players from play to play. They love them on first down, hate them on second down, love them on third down, hate them on fourth down. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's just the way they work. But I mean, as far as Jameis is concerned, I understand that it's probably going to be some growing pains. I get it, but I still say he got a lot of talent. Jameis Winston was asked to be James Harden on the Bucs, play hero ball, and carry the team. That's not a winning formula. Saints will make him better. Yeah, I do believe that. I believe that because the Saints don't really ask. I mean, Drew Brees is something special, but in the latter years of Drew Brees' career, like the Saints aren't really asking Drew to win games for him. And the only reason why Drew will win games for the Saints is because the defense sucks. I mean, that's just the truth. Like this team is actually structured to be a run-based team. If you look at it, honestly, if you look at the Saints offensive line, the offensive line will tell you, Ramczyk, where he came from, Wisconsin. Cesar Ruiz, where he come from, Michigan. Both of those teams, you know what I'm saying, are running teams. You know what I'm saying? Those teams ran the football. Michigan ran the football. Wisconsin ran the football. Andrews Pete out there at Stanford. Stanford ran a pro-style offense, and they ran the football. Andrews Pete was a left tackle in college. That was the reason why I feel like the Saints signed him to a 5-year deal. People ask the question, why did the Saints sign Andrews Pete? It's because the Saints understand that whoever comes after Drew, they're probably going to have to learn the offense. So in the process, they're probably going to have to run the football. This team is structured to run the football. So if Jameis was to fall into place, he doesn't have to go out there and play hero ball no more. He don't have to be James Harden. Why? Because the Saints have a running game. They have a running game to support him. And he got one hell of a running back that he can check the ball down to that can make nothing out of something. So this is the best case scenario for him, man. Like you cannot fall into a better situation than Jameis. Like honestly, you can't. Winston is a proven quarterback in this league. Led the league in passing. He will never do that. Give Jameis his chance. Yeah, man. I say give him an opportunity, man. Now, you can't say he led the league in passing yards because, I mean, he put his team in quite a hole and he had to dig his way out of it. Now, you can't say that. It's almost like Dak, right? You know what I'm saying? I like Dak a lot. But the Cowboys, man, like in the first half, I mean, Dak was struggling. Dak was out there throwing interceptions, turning the ball over, getting 3 and outs. But second half, Dak, you know what I'm saying, when his team down by 3-4 touchdowns, oh, man, it's time to ball out. He throwing the ball, you know what I'm saying, he getting like 200 and 300 yards in one quarter. But, I mean, you could call that what they call it, empty calorie stats. So, I mean, even though he had 5,000 yards, I mean, what did he have to show for it? I mean, I like him. I mean, the fact that he's throwing 5,000 yards, that's pretty incredible. But what do you have to show for it, man? You know, ain't much winning was going on. So, but I mean, there's a lot of things that you can put out there and try to understand the reason why Jameis was struggling. You know, like there's so much you can put out there. Why defense can't do right, I don't understand. You know, I don't understand it either. And I don't understand why this defense just can't get it together. The only thing that I can think about is Dennis Allen. Dennis Allen is the reason why this defense can't get it together. I feel like the Saints need to go into a completely different direction. Because I'm going to tell y'all something, man. This defense can't be slacking around because most likely, you can be the biggest Drew Brees fan in the world, right? You could be the biggest Drew Brees fan in the world, but you have to be real. Most likely, this is his last season. This is Drew Brees' last season. And if this is last season, you got a quarterback that's inexperienced and don't really know the Saints offense. You have to have a good defense. You got to have a defense that can be able to compensate for the limitations that the quarterback that the Saints are going to have post Drew Brees. He's going to have some struggles. He is going to have some struggles. And you need a defense that is going to be able to make up for some of the things that they might do. I mean, who that nation? I mean, y'all might see some interceptions. Y'all might see some plays that make one pull your hair out. But you need some erasers. And I just feel like the Saints cannot go into next season with Dennis Allen as their defensive coordinator and think they're going to win something. I'm sorry. It's just not. You need yourself an elite defensive coordinator. You need a whole different scheme. You need a whole different regime. That's what you need. You need some guys that can come into here that can really bring a decent defense, a defense that don't take no prisoners. I'm just tired of this, man. Like, I feel like we're setting ourselves up for failure every single year. Like, the Saints, get your hopes high. You get high hopes about this team. You talking about how they're going to make this playoffs. You talk about how this their year. They're going to go to the Super Bowl. And then they lay an egg. They can't stop a nosebleed. They can't stop traffic. They can't stop anything at all. And you get sick of it. I'm getting tired of it, man. I'm serious. How many times do we have to see the secondary not turn their heads around, can't locate the ball, can't tackle? I mean, guys looking at each other like they just a dead headlights. And these guys have been together like 2 and 3 years at a time, man. I can understand, like, if there was a whole new secondary. And even if it is a whole new secondary, I still don't understand it. Because you're looking at a secondary like Tampa Bay. You're looking at a secondary like Chicago. You're looking at a secondary like Kansas City. You're looking at a secondary like Pittsburgh. These guys ain't been together that long. And they still have a formidable defense. And I just do not get it. The only explanation I have is Dennis Allen ain't the answer. And I don't know. I don't understand why Sean Payton just constantly wants to get his buddies on board and these guys can't coach. Like, Dennis Allen is not a good coach. He's not. I'm sorry. He is not. He is not a good coach. This is when I tell you that you're a good coach. This is how I know you're a good coach. When you go up against elite offensive coordinators, that offensive coordinator may have your number, but you do a formidable job. That anytime the Saints go up against a very knowledgeable offensive coordinator, he goes out there and he gets embarrassed every single time. If they go up against somebody, I don't know, man. If they go up, like, they got Andy Reid coming up. You know what I'm saying? Matt LaFleur went out there and embarrassed that boy. John Gruden went out there and embarrassed that boy. You know what I'm saying? And I just don't understand it. Like, why are you keeping this guy around? Like, he is not the answer. He is not the answer. How many times do we have to see the same old thing? Like, who that nation? Let's just be honest. We see the same thing all the time. Ever since Dennis Allen has been the defensive coordinator, we have seen the same situations over and over and over again. Drew Brees drives the team down the field with about a minute left, 55 seconds left, 43 seconds left, only for a Dennis Allen defense to give up a big play to put the team in field goal range and the Saints lose. Or give up a big play, they score a touchdown. I can give you, right off the top of my head, last year, week 1 versus the Houston Texans, the Saints go down there, they get the lead, right? And 2 plays, Deshaun Watson to DeAndre Hopkins, boom. Deshaun Watson to Kenny Stills, touchdown. Just like that, erase the lead. Only for Drew Brees to finally get the ball at the last minute and Will Lutz hit a 58-yard field goal. We go to the San Francisco game, right? Drew Brees to Traquan Smith with about 50-some-odd seconds left on the clock. Jimmy Garoppolo gets the ball, draws the ball downfield, 4th and 2. George Kittle drags the whole entire defense, for Robbie Gould to kick a field goal and win. Saints in over, you know what I'm saying? Saints in overtime, right? Kirk Cousins throws the ball down the field to Adam Thielen. From Adam Thielen to Kyle Rudolph for a touchdown, the Saints get eliminated from the playoffs. How many times do we have to see the same thing over and over again for us to fully understand that this guy is not the answer? It's the same thing. It's like Groundhog Day. I don't know if some of y'all seen that movie with Bill Murray. He wakes up every single morning. It's Groundhog Day over and over again. And it got to a point where he actually knew everything a person was going to say, everything they was going to do. I feel like Phil Connors up in this thing. That's what I feel like. I feel like Phil Connors looking at Ponce Field. That's what I look like that's what I feel like when I watch the Saints defense, because I know it's only a matter of time. Drew Brees drives them down the field. Offense do one hell of a drive, good tempo, good pace. Get the, you know what I'm saying, get the ball back to the offense of the opposing team, and the team scores. They kick a field goal. They score a touchdown. How many times you guys see this, folks? Dennis Allen is not the answer. He's not. He is not the answer. I'm serious. He is not the answer. And Sean Payton continuously be stubborn. If he continuously be stubborn, the Saints are going to be in the same situation. And we as fans, I'm sorry, folks, we just playing ourselves. We going to look good in the regular season. We going to be looking good. We might win a division over and over again. But when it's time to come to the playoffs, we going to get exposed. Sorry. Sun's out. TJ got the guns out. Yeah, man. I had to rocking my Nike shirt today, man. I feel like Dennis Allen going to be fired in the offseason. Well, he needs to. I'm sorry, man. I understand that's your boy. I understand, I understand Dennis Allen was a key component of the Saints' success back in 2009. Okay, the Saints led the NFL in turnovers. Dennis Allen was the secondary coach. I get it, all right? But Dennis Allen ain't it, bro. I'm sorry. He is not it. He ain't. I'm sorry. He is not it. What? I don't know, man. He ain't it, bro. He ain't it. He definitely ain't it. It's time for coaching changes all the way around. Look, I don't think it's time for Sean Payton or anybody like that to go offensively. I don't think it's time for them to go. But I will say this: if he hangs on to his buddies too long, it might end up being that way. It might end up being that way because people gonna start getting tired of this, man. Because it is I don't know, man. It's inexcusable. Like a team to be this good year after year, more wins in the last 3 seasons than any other team in the NFL, and you have absolutely nothing to show for it. Nothing. Now, we can erase 2018. We can call that for what it is, man. The NFL screwed the hell out of us. But for 2017, the Saints should have beat Minnesota. They should at least have been in the NFC Championship game going up against Philly. Should have been. But once again, you know what I'm saying? The defense laying an egg. 2019, same thing. Like, come on, man. Give me a break. Give me a break. How many times do we have to subject ourselves to this bull crap? Every week we see that, TJ. Every week. I'm serious, man. Every week. Every week, a deep play, a deep pass happens, pass interference, or the wide receiver catch it. I'm tired of it, man. I'm sick of it. I don't know how many times we got to see that in order for you to just realize that ain't it. That ain't the answer. Do you think Panthers are a good team? I think Panthers are – I think they're a good team. I think they can beat the Saints. I think they have what it takes to beat the Saints. The Saints better not take this team lightly. I'm just being real. They better not take Carolina lightly. They better come up in there and they better have a plan. Rams scored quick on our defense in the championship game. Yeah, they scored quick, man. But, I mean, the Saints, I don't know, man. I don't know. I just feel like I don't know. I just get tired. Like when I watch teams go to the playoffs and they just dominate. And I'm like, why the Saints can't do that? Like they have all the pieces in place to be a dominating team. Like I for once, I would just like to see the Saints just dominate a game. Like I don't want to be on the edge of my seat. I don't want to wonder if they're going to win. I don't want to be like, oh, like I want to see these guys live up to their potential. You watch teams that ain't even better than the Saints at all, and they go out there and they just run over a team, right? I mean, I don't know, man. Like, it just always got to be like nip and tuck. Like, what the hell is y'all doing? Like, all these stupid plays. Defense can't stop nobody. Like, and offense got to drag them back into the game. It's exciting. Don't get me wrong. But, man, I just want to see them live up to their potential. I'm just kind of tired of watching the Saints just play down to the competition. You know, they play down to their competition. It's like they look at the schedule and be like, oh, that team ain't good. I'm a coach this week. Like, put your foot on their neck, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, and just, I don't know, man. Just destroy them. Like, straight up. Like, I don't understand why they be playing around with the teams or something like that. There's no excuse for that. We need some dogs on D, not no cats, for real. Man, they ain't got enough dogs on this team. They don't. They don't have defensively. They don't. And I don't know what it is, man. I don't know. And it don't matter who the Saints bring in. If they're in that secondary, it just brings out the worst in them. So that's why I say it has to be the coach. It's got to be the coach. I'm surprised we haven't done anything different on this bye week. It will be the same thing. If not, prove me wrong. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I wasn't expecting anything on a bye week. I just want to see them. I just want to see the defense improve. The secondary just needs to step it up, man. Aaron Glenn should be on his way out the door with Dennis Allen. Yeah, those two need to be gone, man. I'm sorry. They need to be gone. They need to be out of here. They need to be out of here like yesterday. We need a Greg Williams type coach back holding down the defense. Yeah, I believe that. Like, I believe that. I think they need somebody that could come in and hold these dudes accountable, man. I don't feel like these guys be held accountable enough for me. Glenn Payne, right? He is too comfortable. If you're talking about Sean Payton, or you talking about I didn't read. Hold on, let me see. All right, y'all turned Sean Payton into a monster. Y'all can't tell him nothing. He thinks he is the smartest person in the room. Yeah, I kind of believe that. You know, I feel like he's extremely arrogant. I do feel like he don't want anybody to tell him anything. He think that he just has all the answers. You know, like, I get it, man. You're the head coach, but I don't know, man. Like, you can keep on doing it if you want to. You ain't winning nothing. Like, that's fine. You can keep your guys around. You keep them defensive coordinators here, but it's gonna be the same thing over and over again. Man, he got some very formidable cornerbacks looking like slaw out there. Like, straight up. Like, I mean, got these guys looking like straight up 100% slaw. I'm serious. Like, you take any of those secondary players. I'm serious. Any last one of them, from CJ Garner-Johnson, from Marcus Williams, from Malcolm Jenkins, Janoris Jenkins, Marshawn Lattimore, put them on another team. Put Marshawn Lattimore on somebody like the Titans. Put Janoris Jenkins on somebody like the Steelers. I guarantee you they would not be playing like this. They would not be playing like this. We would be pissed off if we were to see Marshawn Lattimore. Let's just say the Saints don't sign him back, right? Let's say he goes somewhere like the Steelers or the Browns or something like that, or some other team like Cincinnati Bengals. That man will be balling out, and we'll be pissed off. We'll be like, man, where this dude was at? I feel like they don't hold these guys accountable. They don't hold these guys accountable, man. And the technique that they teach these guys is pathetic. It's like they bring out the worst in these guys, man. Like Janoris Jenkins. Like, man, Janoris Jenkins went out there getting cooked out there in New York. As trash as the Giants have been over the last 5 to 6 years, Janoris Jenkins was the bright spot on that team. He was the bright spot. He comes to New Orleans. He out there getting pass interference call, holding penalties. Like, what the hell is going on here? Like, seriously, what is going on? I mean, it got to be the coaching. Like, it got to be the coaching. It's the lack of accountability. I mean, dudes up there, they got the sauce, they got the drip, they got the handshakes down pat, But when it comes to technique, it sucks. Straight up, it sucks. DB's not playing with no swagger. None at all. Bring in Akeem to leave for a trial. I think he done. I think he retired, man. But I don't know, man. They bring in Akeem to leave, might bring out the worst in that cat. Being an arrogant coach can eventually get you fired when you can't get championships because of pride. I don't know, Casey. I'm gonna be real with you. We know that we know that Saints fans, the people in Louisiana, they are traditionalists. They will forever hold on to Sean Payton with everything that they have because he brought them a championship in 09. Because they're going to think back, especially like if you was a Saints fan in the 80s or the 70s when they wasn't good, and you think about, oh, the Saints have credibility now. And who gave them that credibility? Sean Payton. Man, we need Sean Payton. We wasn't nothing before he got here. They can't let that stuff go. They can't let it go. That's the reason why if you're ever in a Saints group and you start talking about the team or you being critical of the team, they're ready to throw you out the group. They're ready to kick you out. They're ready to tell you that you ain't a real Saints fan because they can't look past that. They can't look past that one measly championship they won back in 2009. And they're going to continue to tell us that we crazy because we hold Sean Payton accountable and we're like, we want results. I want championships. Honestly, there's no excuse for the Saints to not have been in somebody championship. A Super Bowl over the last 4 to 5 years. It is no excuse, folks. It's no excuse. This team, from 2017 on back, if the Saints team from 2017 to 2018 played the 2009 Saints, the 2018 or 2017 Saints will beat the 2009 Saints. I'm serious. That team these teams have been out freaking standing, and they have nothing to show for it. Nothing. That's a damn shame. Candace, thank you very much for the $5. Says I got kicked out of a few Saints groups. I mean, man, me too, man. And I had to ban some people from this group. You know what I'm saying? From the State of Saints podcast group, because people want me to sing the Saints praises every single week, man. I'm sorry. Wrong show, folks. If you want me to sit up here and talk about how great Drew Brees is every week, or how great the Saints is, and how we're going to get them next time, or we're going to win one for the Kipper, man, this the wrong show. I'm keeping it 100. And when this team is not living up to potential, I'm calling it out. Like I say it right now, the Saints aren't the best team in the NFC South. Yeah, I said it. They're not. The Saints are not better than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers all around. As of right now. Now, if they were to go head-to-head and go up against them, do I think the Saints can beat the Buccaneers? Absolutely. But if we're talking about the way teams are playing right now, if you're comparing the Saints to the Buccaneers are better. Defensively, the Buccaneers are better. They got better linebacker play, better secondary play. They're rushing a passer just a tad bit better than the Saints. Not all the way, but a tad bit better. You know what I'm saying? And they offense, they start strong. You know what I'm saying? They start strong in games. So the Saints aren't nowhere near where I thought they would be at this stage. Nowhere near. And you know I'm telling the truth. How many people right now are disappointed at what they see from the Saints? The Saints, the last time we seen the Saints play, they won the game. And that's cool. But are you happy and satisfied with the performance over the last couple of weeks by the New Orleans Saints? I'm not. Because I just feel like they play down to their competition. They got, like, we criticize Marshawn Lattimore for playing down to the competition, but damn, the whole team do. The whole team plays down to their competition. You know what I'm saying? As good as this team is, and as much chemistry as this team has, they play as if they just got together last week. And that's inexcusable, folks. It is. I'm just saying, man, like we got to be real. As much as we support our team, as much as these Tampa Bay Buccaneer fans getting on my damn nerves, man, we got the division. We leading the division. I mean, they pathetic. Don't get me wrong. It's pathetic that you grading team after 6 weeks. Like, but at the same time, I mean, I can understand their positivity and their optimism because as of right now, they looking like not only one of the best teams in the South, but the best team in the NFC. And we're sitting here as Saints fans wondering what team is going to show up this week. Like, honestly, against the Carolina Panthers, are you confident that the Saints can blow the Carolina Panthers off the map? Are you confident that the defense is going to show up to shut down Teddy Bridgewater? Or are they going to make Teddy Bridgewater look like the second coming of Joe Montana like they do most of these other quarterbacks? You know what I'm saying? Like, you get tired of that. It's like every single week, a no-name cat or somebody that's middle of the pack play the Saints, all of a sudden everybody talking about him. When the Saints played the Raiders, everybody talking about Darren Waller. When the Saints played Green Bay Packers, who they was talking about? They was talking about, you know what I'm saying, the wide receiver. What's his name? Alan Lazard. You know what I mean? Talking about Justin Herbert. Like, come on, man. Like, they making these guys look like they the second coming of, you know what I'm saying, Kellen Winslow and you know what I'm saying, Randy Moss and whatnot. We don't know what defense is going to show up. We don't know what offense is going to show up. We don't know what team are we going to get from week to week. And honestly, I'll just get tired of it. I'm tired of the stagnant Saints playing down to their competition when they clearly should be one of the best teams in the NFC. Clearly. I mean, you just got to be 100. Shamika says so too, TJ. I don't think we should be looking like this. I don't know what we are anymore. I mean, I think the Saints are a good team. I really do. I think the Saints are one of the best teams in the NFL. Top 5, clearly. But they don't play like it. They don't. It's like I just don't get it. Like I just don't understand it. Like I don't understand like why the games like be so close. Like why the games so nip and tuck. Why, you know what I'm saying? Like why y'all just don't go with the obvious. They got at least, the Saints should be at least 4-1. They should be at least, like the Raiders game, they just flat out lost, okay? Let's just call it what it is. They just flat out lost that game. But with Green Bay, you had 100+ yards rushing in the first half, and you have 12 in the second. Like, you basically lost the game. You basically gave them the game. You gave it to them. You gave them the damn football game. Made no sense at all. None. You should have ran the football. Man, run the ball down their damn throat. Run the ball down their throat. Who cares? It shouldn't have to take Alvin Kamara to come up to you in a Detroit Lions game and say, keep running until they stop us. You should see that already. You ain't got a pulse on the game. 100+ yards in the first half. You got 12 in the second. Bruh, give me a break. Come on, TJ. Refs didn't help us in Green Bay. Look, Neil, it shouldn't even got to that point. See, this is the thing, man. Like, let's ask ourselves this question. Would we care about the referees if the Saints actually did what they were supposed to do? If the Saints was up by 17 points and the referees just start calling plays, would we give a damn? Like, seriously, would we care? No, we don't. We care because the games are close, and then they start blowing a whistle, and we like, man, the ref screwed us. Well, we need to start asking ourselves the question, why is the game so damn close in the first place? And why are we putting it in the hands of the refs in the first place? Have we not learned our lesson? Have we not learned our lesson over the course of time? If the refs don't give a damn about you, why are you putting it in their hands? They're not going to give you anything. So why can't you just take it out of their hands and control your own destiny? That's all I'm saying. We hear this all the time, man. The ref screwed us, man. The ref played us. What the score was. Why the Saints in this position? Now, I'm not saying if you're going up against some formidable competition that the game shouldn't be close. But at the same time, God, dog, man, when you're playing against teams that are struggling, that are new, that are just trying to find their offensive identity or their defensive identity, they got a new quarterback that you didn't even think was going to play the next week, and they come into the game and they balling out, and you got the game close and you winning by will-less field goals, give me a damn break, man. Take it out of the referees' hands. Take it out of their hands. Don't put it in the hands of the referees. Put it in your own hands, man. JB Hustle, thank you very much for the $2. Says, I'm waiting for us to win a game with a 3-score lead. I mean, it's been a while. You remember when you used to watch Saints games and you were like, man, we blew them boys out. Like, we knew for sure Drew Brees about to put up 350. Pierre Thomas was gonna go out there and put up a rushing and a catching touchdown. We know, we know them boys gonna ball out. We knew Lance Moore was gonna catch one. And we slept good that night on Saturday night. We slept good because we knew if they playing against the Bills, they playing against the Jets, they playing against, they playing against the Bucks. We knew they was gonna whoop them boys' tail. We knew it. And we slept good. And we weren't concerned because we realized that a Greg Williams defense was gonna blitz the hell out of them boys. They were gonna get the ball back, and Drew Brees was gonna go out there and do what Drew Brees do. We knew Pierre was going to do what Pierre do, right? And we was good. But now it's like, we don't know what we're going to do, right? Saints might score 2 touchdowns. Here comes the defense, giving up big plays, lost in the lights, looking at each other. Oh, I thought you had him. I thought you had him. I thought he had him. I thought he had him. Was it the cover 2? Was it the zone? What was it? I don't know what I was supposed to be. Man, that was man. That was my dude. Like, come on, man. Hell out of here. Hell out of here, man. I want to go back to those days. I want to go back to the days where I wasn't too concerned because I knew the Saints were going to handle up on their business. Yes, that's right. We need to play where the refs won't be an issue. That's all I'm saying. The Green Bay will be a different outcome with Mike T back. See them in the playoffs. Yeah, we might see them in the playoff, but man, who knows? Drew should audible to run. They are obviously working, but no, Drew loves getting away from the run too. I don't know, man. I mean, he might audible into a run or something like that every now and then, but if it's time for him to pass, like he gonna audible into another passing play. Facts, TJ. If we play like we know we can, the call by the refs won't matter. Sean has to stay committed to the run and stop falling into the pass happy pattern. He does way too much. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. He just, man, Sean Payton be running out, man, for real. He make the easiest thing so complicated. Even a play on Monday night. Now, Drew Brees was cooking. I think we all can agree in fourth quarter, Drew Brees was dialing them up. Drew Brees was wheeling and dealing, right? Drew Brees was wheeling and dealing. And all of a sudden, on the goal line, here comes Taysom Hill. Now, Taysom Hill scored. So I guess you can say this is irrelevant. But why? Why was Taysom out there? Why was Taysom Hill in the game? Drew Brees on that drive was like 4 for 4, 5 for 5 or something like that. Wheeling and dealing, getting the team down the field. 2-minute drill was on point. But here comes Sean Payton, grandstanding, calling Taysom Hill number 4. What? Like, for what, dude? Like, what the hell is you doing? Like, why? But because he can. Because I'm smarter than you. It made no sense whatsoever. No rhyme, no reason, no nothing. Just put Taysom in the game. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because he reads Twitter or I don't know what it is. But it didn't make no sense at all. It worked. Like, I guess, like I said, hindsight 2020, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, and it made me sound crazy because I'm talking about a play that actually worked. But why? Why was he in the game? It made no sense. Drew Brees didn't limp off the field. Drew Brees went out there struggling to get the ball down the field. Was he not? It didn't make no sense at all. I'm like, okay. It's almost like if you ever see Varsity Blues, right? All right. So you ever see Varsity Blues and you had that black running back, you know what I'm saying? And you had Mox, the quarterback, right? And every time the running back would get the ball down to the goal line, the coach, who was played by John Voight, will tell a black dude to get out the game and he'll bring somebody else in and run it in for a touchdown. I'm like, that's what that was. Like, what's the point? Like, this dude gonna get you the touchdown. Why are you taking this dude out of the game? He got you this far. So what's the point? What was the point? Like I said, it worked. Congratulations, it worked. Okay, but why? Like, why do that? Somebody please explain that to me. Getting A-Rod like was nothing. The 2009 Sean Payton, I remember, would have been happy with the performance right now. He be cracking skulls. Yeah, man. You have to establish the run before it's effective. Man, tell him that. Even when they established the run, even when he established the run, folks, he still like get away from it. Like I said, that Green Bay game, over 100 yards in the first half. And you still didn't run the football in the second. You're right, TJ. I mean, it didn't make sense, folks. Sean Payton, the trip. Sean Payton gets too cute, way too cute. I'm talking about Emmy Award dress cute. I'm talking Academy Award suit cute. I'm talking, I don't know, man, like a debutante ball cute. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what he be getting. Like dude be getting way too cute with the play. Like he makes something so simple so hard. It's like, look, it's like if you know that you're blocked down from your house and there's a right turn and it's like it's a straight shot to your house, but you decide to cut right and go around the block and then come back on the other side to your house. That's what Sean Payton be doing. That way too much, man. Way too much. Payton trying to help Taysom hit contract essentials. Maybe. I don't know. Exactly. Right now, Kamara has all the respect in the world from our opponents. Man, to say the least. Sean needs to go back to being untouchable, being dominant, and being a dangerous team again. Yeah, man. Nobody fears the Saints no more. Nobody fears the Saints no more. Like that's the biggest issue. The only human being. Brady is greater than Brees. Man, I would have to say, if I'm being 100% honest, I think Brees playing better than Brady this season. I'm sorry. I know they're winning, but that running game and that defense carrying Brady. I can't say the same thing. I can't say the same thing for Brees. We seen Brees bring this team back. Okay, we seen Brees for 2 straight weeks bring the New Orleans Saints back in a game. So I can't say that. He did the same BS against the Vikings. He had the Vikings gasping for air to win the game. Hill and the Saints marching and snatched him out. But Brees fumbled the rock. Ain't that crazy though? That's kind of crazy though. Look. In that Vikings game, Taysom Hill was hot, right? And we felt like Taysom Hill should have stayed in the game. They put Drew, and Drew fumbled, right? In the Green Bay game, Drew was hot. He put in Taysom, and Taysom fumbled. So, damn if you do, damn if you don't, that one. Malcolm Jenkins needs to play better. Swearinger needs to be on the field on third down. Man, Swearinger needs to be on the field, period. That's Sean Payton. Want his guys on the field. Wants those guys on his field. He wants those same old usual suspects. He wants PJ Williams out there because PJ is tough. PJ is a smart football player. Man, please. PJ Williams can't hold DJ Swearinger's jock. Straight up. If we talking about who a better player out of DJ Swearinger and PJ Williams, it's laughable. The only person that believes PJ Williams is better than DJ Swearinger is Sean Payton and Dennis Allen. You got that right. Payton got Marty Indian cute. Too much. Man, way too cute, man. Way too cute. It's not realistic to think Sean Payton going to change when he built his fam with a pass-throwing offense, and he too stubborn to change because that's in his DNA. He's gonna have to change it, or the outcome not gonna change. I'm gonna read a few more. We're gonna get up out of here, folks. Chad says the secondary needs Swearinger back. there to bring the wood. Those guys need a presence like him. And yep, I mean he gonna lay the wood, man. Let's see, Brian. How many teams went after him? I don't know what we talking about here. What about P-Rob? Trash. Look, man, P-Rob a good nickel corner, man. I don't know what people was thinking. People like, man, P-Rob did a good job against Detroit. I don't mind him. I'm like, nah, bro. Look, like there's a one and done thing right here. Like this, like he did a good job that first week, but I think 2 weeks might push it. And exactly what happened. Gave up that big play. I wasn't sold. He did a good job. He caught the interception. But that man, that didn't sell me. I knew it. I was like, man, get him up out of here. I was like, he did a good job, cool, but it's only a matter of time before he get exposed, and that's what happened. I feel like we have the worst secondary in the league. Me too. I think we have the players to be better than we currently are. What can we do to improve our secondary? Can we keep Hendrickson over number 92? Hasn't earned his name being called yet. I don't know, man. Trey Hendrickson, man, somebody gonna pay that man some money. Straight up. He putting himself in the elite tax bracket. And I said that. And I told people at the beginning of the year, Trey Hendrickson is gonna be a starter on somebody's team. We do have the worst secondary in football, folks. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but we do. What do I feel like needs to change? We need a new secondary coach, but that ain't gonna happen. Need a new defensive coordinator, and that ain't gonna happen either. So we might as well strap in, folks. And it's gonna be a bumpy ride this season. And lastly, I'm gonna read this one from Casey. Casey said, TJ, you need to get Sean Payton on your podcast. Us fans have questions. Man, Sean Payton won't come on my podcast, man. He ain't coming on here. I'm gonna be serious, man. Like at first, I did interviews and stuff like that. At first, I was a little nervous about doing interviews. I mean, you get to talk to all these amazing people that's right there with the team. But now, man, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, bump all that. Look, I'm giving the people what they want. You know what I'm saying? I'm asking the questions, you know what I'm saying, that people want, you know what I'm saying, that want to know. And if you notice, like people that come on the show, that's what I've been doing. And I don't care, you know what I'm saying? Like you don't want to come back after I ask you these questions because you scared you're going to, you know, like maybe say something and somebody'll get back to the team. I don't care. Look, Sean Payton, man, he's a great coach. I feel like he's a Hall of Fame coach if he win a couple more games, you know, over the years. But man, dude, way too stubborn. Like way too stubborn, man. Like, man, Drew Brees. Like I love Drew Brees, man, but you ain't winning nothing with Drew Brees as your quarterback just exclusively like you used to. Like Drew Brees can carry a team back in 2010, 2011, but he can't do it no more, man. And honestly, man, I just feel like I feel bad for Drew in certain ways, man, because we have such high expectations for Drew, right? We expect Drew to do such amazing things. And now it's like he's at the age of 41 where, man, it's father time. You know what I'm saying? It's undefeated. And we still holding Drew Brees accountable like he's 29, 30 years old. It's Sean Payton's fault that we thinking of Drew Brees in this light because Sean Payton should have automatically seen the writing on the freaking wall. And he should have structured this team in a way that can help Drew Brees and because Drew Brees has certain limitations, be able to kind of protect those limitations by running a football and having a good defense. I don't know, man. I don't know. I really don't know. But who knows, man? Maybe next year will be different. You know, I want people to understand. I think the Saints gonna make the playoffs, but I'll be lying to you if I told you I think the Saints gonna go all the way to the Super Bowl. I want them to go to the Super Bowl, but I'm a realist, folks. I ain't trying to sugarcoat nothing, right? I think the Saints can make the playoffs, but as far as the Super Bowl, hell's to the no. The Saints gonna have to like do a complete 360, turn this season around. Like they're gonna have to play like they played in the second half against the Chargers every single week. That second half that the Saints played defensively was pretty doggone good, folks. I mean, I know that big play to Mike Williams kind of, you know, eliminated that, but the Chargers only scored 10 points in the second half. I mean, I think if they could play like that all season, they'll be all right. And this is a thing that frustrates me. You get nervous about Saints games when they go up against elite competition. But then they go out there and they ball the hell out. Like, you remember how nervous you was when the Saints played the 49ers last year? And you like, man. But when the Saints, like, they went up, 21-7 or something like that? We was like, God, dog, man, like, Saints ain't playing. And that's what frustrates you. When they go up against competition when everybody's singing they praise, it's like they watch the sports shows. They watch the sports shows and they be like, okay, all right. They say, what about that? Okay. And they go out there and they ball out. But it's like they got to have something to prove every week. And if they're like a prohibitive favorite, like no, everybody and their mama pick them to win, and it's like they just believe that, and they don't go out there and play. They forget how to play football, or they forget that they are the favorites or something like that. Like, man, cut the TV off. Like, cut the TV off. Silence the critics. Stop paying so much attention to your press clippings and go out there and ball the hell out. Don't wait till Patrick Mahomes comes to town. Don't wait till Tom Brady comes to town. Don't wait till Aaron Rodgers comes to town. Go out there and play the same way if Kirk Cousins came to town, right? As trash as Kirk Cousins been this season, play the Vikings like you would play the Kansas City Chiefs. That's all I'm saying. Ball the hell out. But thank y'all very much for checking out the State of the Saints podcast. Really do appreciate it. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel, youtube.com. Search The State of the Saints podcast. Also, facebook.com. Search The State of the Saints podcast. Previous episodes are available on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Anchor FM. So take the time out to subscribe and follow one of those streaming apps. I would really appreciate it. And thank you all for spending your Monday morning here on the State of the Saints podcast. And look forward to talking about the New Orleans Saints and their big Week 7 matchup versus the Carolina Panthers. How will that game turn out? Some very intriguing storylines. Will we see Christian McCaffrey? Never know. Well, till next time, I am TJ Jones, the host of the State of the Saints podcast. And all I got to say is,